5 reasons why your Amazon product is not selling. Stay tuned. Number 1, your products are weak or your copy is not compelling. Now, let me explain. The first thing in organic search results or in paid advertising that the consumer is going to see is going to be your image and your title. So you have a split second, literally a split second, to compel the prospect or the consumer with a title that is not only relevant, but compelling. Also, the consumer or prospect is going to look at your image, and if your image is not professional or compelling enough, they're going to scroll down. Literally, their eyes are going to go to the next person, and you have lost your chances. So you want to make sure that your picture is the highest quality possible. I highly suggest and recommend using a professional graphic artist or service that specializes in creating images for e-commerce. You can go to Fiverr or you can go to Upwork and find someone. And ninja tip, make sure you look at your competitors' pictures and screenshot them or send your designer the URL to your competitor. So find 3 that you think that is absolutely epic, who's crushing it. Send those 3 to your graphic artist and tell them, hey, I want similar photos to this, but I want mine to be better. Remember, never reinvent the wheel. You want to replicate, but not copy. And the second part of that is your copy. So many people are focused on ranking keywords that it looks like a robot wrote their title or their description. When writing copy for your title, your description, or your bullets, it's important to make sure that it's legible. Use a 50-50 combo of keywords as well as compelling text like must have, will love, must see, must use, best around, etc. Any type of word or sentence that's going to be compelling enough to spark emotion is going to increase your conversion rate substantially. Number 2, lack of reviews or review ratio is bad. Now, it can be one of the other. You can lack reviews or your review ratio can be bad. So let's start with lack of reviews. If you just launched a product and you started running PPC, which is pay per click, that's the advertising within Amazon's platform, and you have 0 reviews or maybe only 1 review, your click-through rate is going to be high, meaning you're throwing money out of the window and your conversion rate is going to be low. So I really cannot emphasize more on taking the amount of time to launch to a community, launch to a Facebook group, an Instagram group, to family members, to colleagues, to workers. Strategize on your product launch. That way you can get the amount of reviews you need to gain momentum. Now, the second part of that is review ratio. Now, the review ratio is the amount of stars that you have. It's very simple. Amazon grades the quality of your review on a review ratio from 1 to 5 golden stars. The lower the amount of golden stars that you have, hence 1 or 1.5 or 2, the lower the quality of your product the customers are going to perceive. The higher the amount of reviews, hence 4, 4.5, or 5, the higher the quality of the product and better quality of the product your consumers and prospects are going to perceive, which in return is going to lead to more conversions and more sales. Number 3, not enough sales velocity to maintain current ranking. Now, this is super important when you're ranked on the first page. Let's say that you took your time, you launched your product to a group, you have the amount of reviews, you're doing your automatic campaign, your PPC campaign, and some exterior traffic that you're sending to Amazon, and the A9 algorithm is loving it. Hence, they're boosting you up in the rank and you finally get it to the first page. Once you get your product to the first page, you're going to have to maintain that BSR, which is an acronym that stands for Best Seller Ranking. And this is something that's calculated each and every hour, 24 times a day. So you have 24 times throughout the day that you have to maintain that BSR in order to maintain your ranking. And if you just skyrocket your PPC and your marketing in the beginning, you get to the first page and then you reduce your budget and you reduce your effort and you're not maintaining the amount of sales velocity and eyes on your site to lead to conversions, that A9 algorithm is going to detect that and you're going to start dropping in the ranking. Once you get to that second page, you will see a drastic drop in the amount of conversions and sales that you get, because 75% of Amazon sellers are going to purchase those that are on the first page. They feel more connected, they feel more confident, and they feel more safe purchasing those. It's just the way it works. Number 4, your price is simply too high. Now, so many people focus on increasing their price as high as they can when starting out to increase their margins, which is super important. But if you are not testing the price incrementally, you will never know when you are seeing resistance on that price, and that can hold you back drastically. What I highly suggest when starting out is starting out where you need to be at marginally, typically around 25 to 30%, and incrementally increasing your price in increments of 50 cents to $1. Do not go from $19.99 to $24.99 to $29.99. Incrementally increase it 50 cents to $1. Let a day or two run by and track your volume. If you're not losing the amount of momentum that you're getting in conversions, then continue to increase it until you meet your threshold or until you meet resistance. Now, how do you know when you meet resistance? When you finally raise your price and you gain resistance, what's going to happen is the amount of conversions you're going to get on average will decrease. Now, if you typically get 15 to 20 conversions per day and you raise your price and it goes from 15 to 20 to 9 to 12, that means you're gaining resistance. Leave it for 2 to 3 days. If it consists for 2 to 3 days, that's how you can determine that you hit resistance and you need to lower your price back down. And number 5, your product is just too competitive or too saturated. Now, however, you may be thinking that your product falls into category 5. Do not worry, I have a strategy for you. Now, moving forward, when launching products, we want to micro-launch our products. We don't want to have all of our eggs in one basket. You want to micro-launch this with as least amount of products as possible to avoid this scenario, because if we get our product to market and it's just too saturated, it's too competitive, we just can't rank or we can't rank profitably, what we need to do is liquidate our product, recoup our investment, become liquid, move to the next product. Now, you may be thinking, well, man, I have a bunch of product. How do I liquidate it? How do I get on to the next step? What you want to do is you want to lower your price to the point where you are break even. That's including with PPC, and you want to be aggressive and focus on moving these units, because what's happening is the longer your inventory stays in Amazon's warehouse, the more they're going to charge you and the more you're going to lose. So at that point, you want to cut your losses. Don't focus on a profit, focus on recouping the bulk of your investment. That way you can move to the next product. Now, however, if no matter how competitive or saturated a product is, you can always rank. Understand, the more competitive and the more saturated that product or niche is, the more amount of money in advertising you are going to have to spend. And you cannot just solely rely on Amazon's PPC system alone and organic sales alone in order to please the algorithm, spike the BSR, and rank to that first page. A lot of these brands that are in competitive or saturated niches, number 1, have brand awareness and exterior-based traffic coming to Amazon because they want to utilize their Prime membership, meaning that they get their product in 2 days guaranteed. Or number 2, they have a gigantic advertising budget where they can spend money on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc., and drive exterior-based traffic. So those are 5 reasons why your Amazon product is not selling. If you want to watch another video on how to increase your sales and how to crush your product launch, click the video right here. If you're new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button, click the notification bell, that way you'll be notified each and every time I launch a new video and you can be first to market, first to dollar. I'll see you guys in the next video.